Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Georg Mack Plays the Classics. Lately, there's been rumors that the Kingpin is up to something in Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin. Wilson Fisk is back at it again, having wrangled up 6 of the most sinister villains in New York City. They want to blow portions of the metropolis up and blame it on Spider-Man. As Peter Parker, you won't be having any of that. So defeat the villains, grab the keys, and save the day. Is your Spidey sense tingling yet? Spider-Man punches with the B button, jumps with the C button, and uses webbing with the A button. Spidey sticks to walls and ceilings, allowing you to crawl along them. Levels are much too tight to properly use Peter's web-slinging ability, which is incredibly disappointing because this is the best part of Spider-Man. Enemies fire their weapons constantly, making certain jumps extremely difficult to clear without getting hit. The levels are similar to the Master System version, but different. The first level, where Spider-Man needs to get into the Daily Bugle, requires you to stop a mugger from harming an old lady before you can get in. Icons found around the stage will refill some life or web, very useful for survivability. You are allowed to continue if you die, but if I'm honest, I did a lot of time traveling to get through this one. If you find yourself running low on life, you can head back to Peter's apartment and rest, at the consequence of having to start the level you were on over again. Pete needs to take pictures to earn money in order to afford web fluid. You only get a few photos on each level, and there are specific enemies like the bosses that will give you a bonus. Bosses have their patterns that fall prey to specific tactics. You have to crawl under Doc Ock, you have to duck and stand to shoot the lizard, you have to get the right distance from Electro and blast him. Sandman has to be sprayed with the fire hydrant. Hobgoblin needs to be shot up at to make vulnerable. Venom needs to be beat into unconsciousness, which was difficult for me as I ran out of web. The final level has you running a gauntlet of the bosses once again. Knowing their patterns makes it a bit easier. It took me a while to figure out stopping the bomb required me to equip the proper colored key in order to use it. The final battle against the Kingpin requires you to jam up the chains, lowering Mary Jane to her demise, while jump kicking Kingpin in the head. But succeeding saves your lady and gets the Kingpin put away. For now. When it comes to grading Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin on Sega Genesis, graphics get a 2.0. Animations are stiff and not pleasant to look at. Sound gets a 1.0. Music and sounds are not really good. Gameplay gets a 2.0. Controls aren't tight. Corridors are too narrow for Spider-Man's abilities to be useful. Difficulty gets a 1.5. Levels are designed pretty poorly with rude enemy placements, which is very disappointing. Fun factor gets a 1.5. There's not a whole lot to get excited about. It's a clunky platformer that had the ability to be much better. Overall, Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin earns a 1.6 and gets a C-. This is a prime example of a cross-generational game being better on the weaker system. I can't recommend this one. Well, that's going to do it for me for today. Please make sure to like this video. Let me know what you think of Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin in the comments. And please subscribe to Head Drop Productions here on YouTube, because we want you here for each and every video we release. Because it is your destiny.